All right, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, first of all, for taking the time out of your day to join Danielle and myself for our webinar to talk about the new Gmail and Yahoo email deliverability guidelines in 2024, how TargetBay, if you're a current customer, are able to prepare you for 2024 and beyond. But also, if you're new and you're not a customer of ours, how we can help you guys prepare for that, not just for the new guidelines that launched on February 1st, but for any forthcoming changes down the road. We're email delivery experts. It's something we're very passionate about. It's something that our team takes very, very seriously. So I've talked to some of you. I can see kind of in the group before, so I'm happy to see some familiar names. Um, but also joining me, who's going to kind of take over the middle part and kind of really go through what some of this deliverability means and kind of some of the things we need to be on the lookout for when it comes to impacting your messages getting to your recipients' inboxes is Danielle, who's one of our customer success managers that hopefully most of you had the opportunity to meet and work with. So with that said, let's get into it and talk about the overcoming common challenges and kind of what this journey is going to look like and how we're going to help you guys prepare for your email marketing success in 2024, but as we said, also and beyond. So what is email deliverability? You guys have a common understanding of what it is. It really depends on these factors that you see here, but it's really important to understand like what's the definition of successful digital marketing and deliverability campaign for you. What we set out how TargetBay's to do and what Gmail and Yahoo are trying to do is make sure that your messages are coming from reputable senders as yourselves and your domains and are ending up in the attendant inbox. We're really It's really about bridging your connecting your brand's voice to your audience and really fostering engagement and driving deeper conversations, deeper conversions. That's really what these updates are about, and it's really coming down to your sender reputation, the authentication of these emails, the content, the ISP guidelines, which we help you with, and also the email list quality. All of these factors really go a long way in kind of measuring your email deliverability and defining what it is. Now, there is a difference between email delivery and email deliverability. And I'll kind of let you know what that is. When we talk about email deliverability, we're talking about the latter. So other providers may be talking about delivery. And the best way to kind of think of it is that email delivery and deliverability are like sending a letter in the post office. So delivery is the same as a letter reaching the mailbox or the email server. Deliverability means that it's actually landing in your recipient's hands. So if I mail Danielle a letter, and it just reaches her mailbox and she never goes out and checks it or it gets thrown away or whatever happened. It's only been delivered. What we're talking about here and what Gmail and Yahoo are trying to help prevent is like all of that spam and all that other stuff that comes in. They want the emails that are intended to arrive in the inbox to be actually delivered with the deliverability. And that's what we're really prioritizing in 2024 and helping to make sure everyone adheres to the guidelines. But we do the deliverability part. We do it very, very well. And so the factors affecting deliverability, it's the effective communication and engagement. That's why we have our team of customer success managers. But if you're not currently working with them, or if you're not with another provider and you're not working, it's really about you want to make sure you have the right communication, the right engagement, and the more you do that by personalization, using flows and automations, the more success, the more revenue, and that's really where our focus, as we hear kind of list to our customers, is coming up with more features that kind of help you. Um, really improve your email deliverability with the personalization of the product recommendations is a feature we recently launched in Q4 that we're expanding on. Things like that is to really kind of drive that market engagement with your customers. If you're just sending out emails that don't really have any rhyme or reason to it, there's really nothing for them to click on or convert with or engage with. You're going to run to that low engagement. It's going to damage your reputation. People are going to mark it as spam. And then again, it runs into the missed opportunities and revenue loss for your brand. And that's something that we take very seriously as your partners in email marketing automations, and then we really focus on working with you to make sure that any emails you guys are sending out really hit their mark. So just best practices. Hopefully, a lot of you guys know this, but adopting these best practices are really important for anyone in their e-commerce success. Um, we want to make sure you guys are embracing the advanced authentication protocols, and that's something we will really help you guys with. That's that email authentication, making sure you have your SPF, standard policy framework set up correctly, DMARC, DKIM, all three of those that we do for all of our customers. If you're an existing customer and you haven't been able to get in touch with your customer success manager, please drop your information into the chat, and they will reach out in the next 24 hours to continue to set that. We've been very proactive working with all of our customers to make sure all three of those authentication tools are genuine mailing list. That's really about list integrity, making sure we're helping you kind of purge the unsubscribed, getting rid of the emails that are no longer valid, and making sure that when you are sending out those emails, they're not being marked or labeled as spam. We also need to make sure there's an easy unsubscribe button, and the content you're sending out again is quality content. Those are really like the six things. If you focus on those and practice those, you'll be able to stay and remain in good standing, having a stellar reputation when you send out your emails. So why Target Bay? We handle email deliverability. Like that says it right there. Like we have a team of dedicated email deliverability experts that will work with you and work with your brand to make sure that your emails are delivering at 99.4% or even more. That's just our base number that our email campaigns do. Um, and it's something that, again, we take very, very seriously. If anything you take away from this presentation about these new guidelines that Danielle's going to go into a little bit more in the next slide or next two slides, when I pass off in a couple slides, is I really want you to take away that we take this email deliverability very seriously. It's something that we're very, very passionate about and what we were built on as a brand and a company. Um, it's it's personalized engagement techniques that we're really focused on, again, because you guys are asking for it as our customers. And that's who you really listen to. You're the ones that are kind of using the product, using the platform. Um, and that feedback you guys give to us, give to our CSM really impacts our product roadmap. And again, really helps us that built the platform the way it is designed today. So we really want to thank you guys for that. But again, it's really something that we really strive hard to make sure that we're delivering for you guys as our customers and also for any new customer that comes on. So again, before I pass it over to Danielle, and she's going to go a little bit more detail. We don't use third-party platforms to manage email deliverability. If you're using that and some of our competitors do use that, um, it's never a good best practice. We really focus on, again, the white label service to manage this. Our team, we have a lot of email delivery experts are focused on watching your deliverability and watching those rates. And if they start seeing them decline for whatever reason, we'll move you to another IP. We will work with you. We will figure out what's kind of going on. We will share best practices. We'll look into it. So that's why it's very important. If you are an existing customer, make sure you're working with your customer success manager. And when you become a new customer and join us and partner with us, it's something that we'll take very seriously for you and your team. And if you guys again have any questions, feel free to drop in the Q&A about this. But now I'm going to pass it over to Danielle, who's going to dive deeper into email deliverability, but also kind of talk about the Gmail and Yahoo guidelines that we've kind of already started converting a lot of our accounts over to make sure you guys are prepared for them. Danielle?
Yes, that is correct. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us. So I'm going to kind of jump in here. And so again, we are the email deliverability experts. We use a hybrid model when we're doing this, when we're sending out marketing emails. We don't just have one provider, we actually have two. So we use Amazon SES and Mailgun, in which we're able to use them basically in conjunction with each other. If there is perhaps like an issue with one of them goes down, then we can easily switch you over to another one. So there's not going to be any time that your emails are not sending out. We have noticed that other businesses, email marketing businesses, they only use one provider when they're doing this, and that can be an issue if there's a downtime. Say for instance, if something happens to Mailgun or Amazon SES, then there is a backup plan in place. We always like to have backup plans. So how this works. So with Target Bay, we have the Amazon SES and Mailgun. With Amazon SES, it is absolutely amazing. Their strengths that they have is they have a strong reputation. You are going to see extremely high open rates with them. But with that, you also want to make sure that you have low spam rates with it so that it can continue having that strong reputation. It can also send out emails at a very high speed. So you can send out a higher number of emails within certain minutes, within certain hours. They can be sent out to where it's not taking a long time for them to be sent. There is a virtual deliverability manager. Um, Very important. It supports all email authentication protocols, which is so important to make sure that it is hitting the inbox. The sending emails over dedicated IPs. Now, with this, there are dedicated and there are shared IPs. When there is a shared IP, that is when there's going to be multiple different domains on one IP. And so, see, for instance, that your domain is with someone else and they have a very high spam rate, that could potentially influence your spam rate and your sending since you're on the same shared IP. With a dedicated IP, it's just yours. So we would make sure that it would be just as high as possible. Now with Mailgun, another excellent provider, the strengths with it is that there is an API for easy integration. Easy integration is always a wonderful thing. It doesn't take as long. It's super easy to get going. And it's just an altogether seamless when you're doing it. The send time optimization, then we can optimize the timing. So we can kind of see, okay, we want this campaign to send out within a certain amount of time, and we can be able to set that. The speed of the email deliverability, security and compliance. As with everything, we want to make sure that the compliance and it's secure. Also with Mailgun, there's A/B testing to make sure that everything is sent out and which one is better. And it is also suitable for a high volume email. So if you have a lot of emails going out at a very short time, then Mailgun's absolutely excellent for that. Also, by the way, if you have any questions during this entire process, please go ahead and fill out that Q&A like Kevin mentioned. Unfortunately, we're not stopping in the middle of the webinar, but we are going to take care of all of your questions at the end. If we are not able to answer them, then we will direct you to someone who would be able to. So that way we can be able to tailor it for you.
And
Okay,
I'm also answering these questions as they're being dropped into. So if we don't answer
excellent.
them live, I'll definitely answer them and send them to you.
Excellent. So yes, we are taking care of that for you guys. So to dive into Amazon SES a little bit more, they are the #1 email sender in the world. So that's pretty impressive. They have a very high reputation for their IP addresses, and their sending domain is amazonses.com. So with that, they are very reputed with the actual ISP. So Gmail, Yahoo, they know them. They trust emails that are coming from AmazonSES.com. And TargetBay has built a very good relationship with Amazon. So at this point, we have access to the pool of IP addresses that Amazon is using to send out its own marketing emails. So think about that. The emails that Amazon is sending out, we are also able to send out emails through those same types of IP addresses. We're able to leverage those IP addresses to send those marketing emails for our clients to the multiple different ESPs. And this is a unique technology that allows TargetBay to pick the right sending domain and the right IP addresses for all of the emails to make sure that it hits the inboxes. I'll go into that just here. Okay, so how it works is that you have the customer data. So TargetBay is going to configure those email sending at the time that it should send. So we're going to scale it. It should be so many emails should be sent per minute. Then the support for the owned, dedicated, or shared IP addresses, security and scale with SPF, DMARC, DKIM. All of those are basically short for how we're going to secure and make sure that your emails are delivered, the records under your email domain. And then transactional and marketing messaging support by engagement reports. And all of this is how we're going to be able to send to Google, to Yahoo, to Outlook, to AOL, to Hotmail, and others. I personally use iCloud. And so that's always one that is actually extremely kind of important now. So being able to have that and making sure that it's sent the right way is very important. For instance, say that we have TargetBay.com. We have 100,000 contacts that we're going to be sending out in one campaign. Each IP address is going to be specifically for the provider that's going to. So Gmail has different requirements than Yahoo does, than Outlook does, and AOL do. So what we can do is we can configure it to where there is a different IP address for each one of the providers, making sure that we are getting the highest level of email deliverability for our customers. Now, is Google and Yahoo rolling out new restrictions in 2024? If you have more than 5,000 email subscribers, then yes. And then we have a few guidelines that we're coming through, like that we're going to go through with you. And we really want you to make sure that you understand these measures so that we can improve your email deliverability. Okay, so the guidelines for 2024 for Google and Yahoo. The first one, bulk senders are required to authenticate them using a three-tiered security approach consisting of SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. Again, these are records that you are going to add to your email hosting provider that are going to help secure your emails being sent out. The next one is the one-click unsubscribe process. The unsubscribe link should be provided both at the top and the bottom of your emails. It is extremely important making sure that you have it very clear where they're able to unsubscribe. If customers are not able to unsubscribe, then they're going to mark it as a complaint instead, and you do not want to have many complaints for it. Or they'll also just send you an email and ask you to unsubscribe them manually because they don't click the button. But anywho, the goal is to keep the spam rate under 0.3% and aim for 0.1, like making sure that spam is as low as possible. And to enhance email reliability, we want to maintain valid forward and reverse DNS. And to ensure protection against fraudulent activities, the emails should originate from a domain that is specifically with that DMARC policy. Now, there are some big consequences for not following this rule. And we want to make sure that you are because of these consequences. And with it, your emails could land in spam. Also, really huge, Google and Yahoo may reject your email. So if you try to send to any customers that are using at gmail.com or at yahoo.com, then Google and Yahoo can just say no and not have your emails delivered to them. It can also affect your domain reputation, in which that this is huge because say that your domain is like at targetbay.com. This can affect any of the emails that you send out, and we definitely don't want to have that. We want to make sure that your domain reputation is as good as it can be. And if you are using Google Workspace infrastructure, then it could suspend individual or whole organization accounts, which kind of ties into that domain reputations as well. So obviously, we want to make sure that this is not happening for you, and that's our goal. So to go into this more, each of the individual rules. So the first one, the authentication methods. So we are going to authenticate your email with SPF, DMARC, and DKIM, and valid forward/reverse DNS records. Why is this important to you? This is important because these methods are what verify you as a sender. And you, I mean, as your domain, like say at targetbay.com. And it makes sure those emails are being delivered directly to the inbox. Now, what's important for this is that our team of email deliverability experts will actually handle this for you. We not only will provide you with the records that you would need to do, but we will also set them up for you as well. And if you're a TargetBay client, we already have you covered. If we haven't reached out to you or anything, please reach out to us right away. We were definitely trying to be on top of this, but if we have not spoken with you, please reach out to us. The second rule is the spam threshold. Now we have to keep your emails below a specific spam threshold. Now, we've always wanted to keep your spam rate as low as possible, but why it matters now is that these are going to safeguard your recipients by blocking those unwanted and suspicious emails. So essentially, you can trust that our team of email deliverability experts will be monitoring your sending domain and your spam rates 24/7 to ensure that you have a healthy sending domain. And then easy opt-outs. And we have to make sure that they are able to unsubscribe as easily as possible. Because basically your recipients, they need to have complete control over their inboxes and the ability to stop receiving communications for you, which is kind of making sure we're staying on the legal side as well. So what we do on this side is we simplify the unsubscribe list management. We make sure that you are compliant and we're safeguarding your sender's reputation for effective email communication. You might have the best emails possible. They look amazing. They are very clearly conveying what you want them to see. But if your recipients never receive them, then that's definitely going to be an issue. Now, the fourth rule is for domain security. The email must be sent via a domain with a DMARC policy. And why is that important? It's important because it protects a company's email domain from being used for email spoofing and phishing scams. So someone's not able to take your domain and be able to use it for themselves and try to impersonate you. And again, this is something that our team takes care of to make sure that this is set up for you. We have the records that you would need to add, or we can add for you. Rule number 5 is email compliance. So basically, email compliance, we follow that to be able to enhance the marketing impact within these email regulations. And why is that important to you? The email compliance matters for being able to protect privacy, building trust, and it avoids legal consequences for businesses. So all three of those are important, but we especially want to stay on the right side of the law. And with that, so we are going to ensure the compliance with TCPA, GDPR, CTIA, anti-spam regulations, and feature secure platform and processes for you. Okay, so I am going to turn this back over to Kevin, and he will be able to go through the rest with you.
I just realized I had myself on mute, so thank you, Danielle. Let's pass it back over to me. Um, So how do we help you guys? How does Target help improve your deliverability rate? So the first thing, there's a lot of testing that goes involved, sending out campaigns and stuff like that to make sure we're capturing all that SMTP traffic. And if you're like me, you didn't know what SMTP traffic was until about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It simply means simple mail transfer protocol. The best way to think about it, it's like, again, back to the postal service. They're responsible for collecting, sorting, and delivering physical mail to its destination. This SMTP protocol, mail transfer protocol, serves as a digital equivalent for email. So it's basically taking all this email that's going out there, processing, sorting it, and we're actually setting aside the emails that are like test emails, anything like that that shouldn't be going to validate, or anything that would like be flagged as spam or anything like that, that shouldn't be counting towards your deliverability for your IP. We don't want any of that to harm, so we're actively managing that and capturing that, but we're doing that so you guys don't have to worry about that. It's a very important thing to do. We're also integrated with plenty of e-commerce stores, such as Shopify, BigCommerce. WooCommerce, just to name a few. Um, and also, reliable with their API, the SMTP service. Again, you're probably asking yourself, what does that really mean? Again, think of a Bengay as like a high-speed train, efficiently transporting your passengers, which are emails, and we do this swiftly and directly to your recipient's inbox without any delays. Our system prioritizes speed and reliability, but we really want to ensure, again, that your messages arrive when they're needed and arrive in the inbox. And so being compliant and working very close with the SMTP is something that's very important on our end. And then finally, we stay on top of all these email matters. The matrix kind of, through the infrastructure configurations, Danielle already talked a little bit about it, but with DMARC, DKIM, SPF, all that stuff is set up to make sure that we validated your domain and that the emails that are sending with your domain root are actually coming from your website. So it cuts down on people who are spoofing, people who are acting as bad partners, and again, it helps you maintain that really high reputation score on your IP. Sorry, my microphone. So why consider TargetBay for better email deliverability? Some of the things we do that are very different, at least I think is very different from some of our competitors, we have 24/7, 365 support. And it's not just support that it's a chat box or email response. You can also directly call your CSM. You can email them, you can engage with them. We really do focus on the white glove onboarding, the white glove kind of partnership. Um, we want to be proactively monitoring your emails and stuff like that. So again, if you're haven't, I've heard from a couple people that they haven't really talked to their CSM recently. Please make sure you're doing that. And if they're not, reaching out, every, 2 to 3 months, or I mean a little bit sooner, please make sure you're doing that and stay in touch with them. We want to make sure that, your business is our business. We want to be good stewards of that. And really consulting with you on best practices from other clients that may be in similar industries, helping you with monthly reports, helping you trends, and also showing you some of the new product and features that we're releasing. Like I mentioned, the dynamic product recommendations, which is a brand new feature launched in Q4. It's something that can really help a lot of your email and campaigns with, personalization and targeting um, customers that maybe haven't engaged in the last 6 months. So again, that's what our CSM team is there for. And if you're new to or not a current customer of Target Bay and you're looking to make a switch, and again, a lot of this that we talked about may seem very overwhelming and may seem very daunting, but inaction and not adhering to these guidelines or setting up your account correctly would be a lot worse, that type of inaction, um, than making the switch. And at Target Bay, we will handle everything from the migration, onboarding, bringing over all your templates, flows, subscribers, and making sure that your email account, once set up in BayGauge, reflects everything you were currently with your current email provider before we send that first campaign. So if you're still confused about the new rules, we're here to help. Um, and really going kind of to recap everything we kind of talked about as we're kind of getting to the end of our presentation. Um, we really want to talk about how Target Bay, we're helping clients prepare for these new rules. So again, all about email deliverability and our email delivery experts. If you think about one thing or remember one thing from this presentation and webinar, I really want you to take away with you that, you know, we really are passionate about email deliverability. I know that sounds dorky, but it's something that we take very seriously here at Target Bay. Again, we want to be good stewards of your businesses, and we want to help you engage with your customers in the right way at the right time. And then going back to the Center Policy Framework, DMARC and DKIM, it really starts there. And that's something that we'll make sure that if you're not already as a customer completely in compliance with that, we will get that done for you. And then if you're looking to make the switch and you don't know if you're in that compliant or not, schedule a call. I'll provide my calendar link and my email at the end of this, and we can review it together and kind of go over, uh, where we think we can help, and where we think that you're vulnerable to that. Again, inaction is worse than um, not inaction really is going to be the worst thing you can do at this point. It's really something that we get to be prioritized and be ready to do, and we're here to help you guys with that. Keeping your emails below a specific spam threshold, it's something that we monitor and will help you with, make sure that they're following those best practices, that they're engaging, that they're reaching the right recipients, they're personalized. We want to make sure we're giving the reasons for your customers and your people on your list not to mark them as spam. A proper out opt mechanism. We will include that in all of our emails. Make sure there's an unsubscribe button at the end. And then going back, ensure that your technical setup is done to adhere to compliance, not just with these new rules, but any new additional rules that come in the next, 6 months, years, or down the road. We're going to make sure that, we stay on top of it. We'll be proactive. We'll get in touch with you. And then again, we will be the ones that do that for you. Because again, if you're like me, you're not as technical, or doing things within your website with code is not really in your forte or your wheelhouse. That's what our team is specialized in and very comfortable doing. So we would never like ruin anything or interrupt deliver or campaigns. Um, and then one of the big things we do, especially when you're moving over to TargetBay from an existing email provider, there's really no warm up period. There's nothing where we have to wait 2 to 3 weeks to kind of get the IP, get your email campaigns up to the list. So if you have a list of 100,000 and you send out weekly emails to your entire list, we don't have to warm that IP up. Um, by sending 20,000 to 40,000, we have plenty of pre-warned of IPs that we can put you on. So you won't miss a beat. And finally, we do all these things to make sure you have a stellar center reputation, because we want your emails to reach their intended recipients. We don't want your emails to sit there just an inbox undelivered or unopened. We don't want your inbox to be delivered to a spam folder. We want to make sure they're hitting the right customers at the right moment, and that your engagement, your open rates, and clicks and conversions are all meeting your expectations or exceeding your expectations with TargetBay. So that brings to the end of our webinar. I was trying to monitor questions as I was talking to, and I've answered some along the way, but does anyone have any questions? If so, feel free to drop them in the Q&A and we'll answer them. If it's a question about the webinar or for the whole group, we'll answer them with everyone. If it's more specific to your own need or your current customer, I've been responding to those and answering those as well. There was one question about whether you guys would get a copy of this presentation. We will be sending out after this meeting to everyone who signed up a recording of this webinar. So we'll have all the information. You'll have these slides and the information that we kind of shared with today. Again, if you have questions about what your current email setup looks like, I'll have my information in there to book a meeting to talk with me, and I'll be more than happy to review that with you guys at a convenient time. And we can kind of review everything about the audit and flows and anything else to make sure you guys are in compliance with the new rules. And this is my information, the phone number. We're based in Atlanta, Georgia. And then there's my email address as well.
Yeah, Kevin, it looks like you've answered all the questions that have come in so far. Great job
I was
staying
trying
on
to
top of that.
multitask. I was trying to multitask as you're doing this. Well, if there's no other questions or anything, like I said, we really appreciate the time of everyone taking to go through this deck, kind of learn about the new email deliverability guidelines by Yahoo and Gmail, how the role that we're playing in this and making sure our current and existing customers are set up for success. But we really want to make sure if there's any other additional question or anything, like don't hesitate to reach out. With my email is right here. You can even call me on the phone or send me a text message. And then again, if after this call, I'll send out a meeting or this webinar, I'll send out a email with my information, as well as a meeting link, book some time on my calendar if you have further questions that you want to go into. And then again, if you're a current customer, please reach out to your customer success manager. If you don't have that customer success manager's information, please respond to my email directly, and I can set you up and connect you with he or she to make sure that you're in touch and you're set up. But I think we do have a question. Will our rep contact us to review this set up correctly? Daniel, do you want to answer that? Because I know you guys have been proactively reaching out. If they haven't already done that, we'll make sure they reach out within the next 24 hours or sooner.
Yes. John, what is the name of your business? What we'll do is we'll check and make sure and see who your rep is, so that way we'll be able to reach out, see where the current standing is and how we can be able to make sure that it's set up correctly. So yes, excellent. Okay, yes, we'll double check and make sure everything's good. If not, we will reach out directly to you. You're
And then
welcome.
again, I also send an email, and if you can just again directly reach right back out to me and just say, hey, I still haven't talked to my customer success manager. Again, we'll get someone in touch with you to make sure.
Yes, absolutely. We like this has been a process over the past couple of months. It is still definitely a process, and we have definitely tried to be as proactive as possible. But unfortunately, if there has been, if you haven't been contacted or anything like that, we are still working. You just might not see it. But yes, if you have not been contacted, please contact us. If you are not sure who your account manager is, then just go on to targetbay.com and you can go onto the chat system and say, hi, I would like to speak to someone about my account. And then we will have them reach out directly to you. Okay, awesome.
Great. I don't think there's any more questions. Thank you guys again. We really enjoyed it. And again, if you guys have any additional questions or anything, please don't hesitate to ask. And we look forward to hearing from all of you and collecting your feedback. So thank you again. And Danielle, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.